Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with a viewer requested block, and it's called Migrating Geese. Now, I've done this a little different, but you'll see this block here in front of me doesn't look like it's going to fit together, but trust me, it does. But it's going to be assembled a little different, a little quicker. So it's a great one for the weekend to do, and you could do any colors that you wanted. I decided to go with black and white prints because I have lots of them, and they're fun to use. But first, before we get to any of the sewing, I want to talk to you about Shelen at the Quilting Tale. Her channel looks like she's having so much fun. So when you go check her out and hit that subscribe button for her, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. And it's been it'll be a lovely little surprise for her. She doesn't know this is coming. So, and the other thing you're going to find in the show notes besides her YouTube channel is our Facebook group, which is growing rapidly. We're having fun with the virtual sewing rooms and fabric swaps and all sorts of community chats. And it has been so much fun in there. It's a very warm, welcoming group. So if you're part of the Facebook community, you should come on in and join up. That would be so great. The other thing is our Zoom sew dates are also listed in there with the Zoom link. And we do those once a month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And they have been so much fun. They are just awesome to do. And it's been a lot of fun in that group, right? With the group that shows up, there's ladies from Europe and the UK, North America, of course, and a couple of times South America and Indonesia. Australia and New Zealand are also represented, and we all have a great time. So, the other thing is I do give free speaking engagements to guilds or quilting groups, and we're doing it all over Zoom. We don't do any traveling out to the guilds anymore. We don't have a trunk show. So we do it over Zoom. I have a PowerPoint presentation. We do questions and answers. And I have met so many amazing people. It is just wonderful. And there's so many talented quilters that I've been meeting along this journey on YouTube as well. Now, last thing, yes, the word is out. Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises, her and I talked like months ago now about doing a collaboration. And then we talked to Future Cat out of New Zealand and Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and her base right now is Australia. And we decided we were going to do a collaboration. And the blocks are coming together, and so are the rounds. We're doing it a round robin style, but we're working on our own blocks, not mailing them to all these other countries because Kelly and I are in Canada, and Michelle's in Australia, New Zealand, Future Cat's in New Zealand, so it would be really expensive to do a round robin over several countries. I'm currently in the US in Tucson, so yeah, it would be expensive. Now, we're having such a ball with that, and I'm not sure when we're going to start. It's late spring, early summer, and that we haven't nailed down the date yet, but when we do, I'll let you guys know. It's going to be a hoot. It is. Those blocks are coming out and they're just adorable. So come on in, let's get to this fast sewing. Okay, so I'm going to take the long outer frame off first because that might help what we're doing here. It might help you see what we're doing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the smallest pieces first. We're going to work with those pieces first. And what we're going to do is I'm going to sew one direction like this. There we go. And I want to sew this direction. Okay. Now this one, we will be sewing this way, right? So it's opposite. So one is opposite. Those are all the little pieces now going together. And I'll just put them back. We're going to check them first to make sure they're sewn correctly. And I've got the right amount of stuff on the front. Yes, I do. Okay. I'm going to clip that one. Yeah, this is going to be like all over. This block is going to look like it's all over the place, but that's fine. It's fine. And I got good coverage. Wow, do you guys hear all the planes overhead? I do. Okay, and There. So that's good coverage as well. When you're doing these flip and stitch, right, you're gonna have a pile of triangles at the end. Now, I did black with red, right? Red, like red and white print. You can do any color you want. Now, here comes the hard part. So you're going to go like this on that block. You're gonna hold it just a sec. I'll move all this stuff out of the way. You're gonna pick your block up where you're going to go like this with that block. And now you're going to feed it from point to point. And there you go. From point to point. And I'm going to show you that so you know what I'm talking about. So from point to point, and then it folds out like that. Right? So from point to point, it folds out like that. I have really good coverage. So I'm going to clip off the back. And that's my first row. I got my first row done already. So what I want to do is I want to take this from here. Now this is going to go like this. Wait, we're going to go in a minute here. This has got to go this way. So this has got to go this way. So we're going to sew this way. You have to watch your angles as you're doing this. You don't want to mess up your angles. Okay. And if you have to do one at a time, that's okay. So this is going like this. And we're going to be, oops, just like that. From corner to corner. From corner to corner. Right across, just like so. Oops, there we go. There, now I'm going to take these off. Okay, and push that under. Okay, so this magically turns into this, right? So we want to make sure we've got good coverage. Yes, we do. We've got it in the right spot. Yes, we do. Awesome. Let's give it a little clip. Okay. Now, next one. Okay, it's like that. Yes, we've got good coverage. So again, because we're going to check along this line here, up here. Yes, we have coverage. Okay. Okay, just like that. And this one, we're going to go like that. Yes, we've got good coverage. So as long as you got good coverage, you can clip. Don't clip if you haven't got good coverage. If you haven't got good coverage, you got to start over again. So now we're going to go from the other side. We're taking it this way, and we're going to sew from here to here. Right? Okay. There we go. Now this one is done. This one is next. And there we go. From corner to corner. There. And again. There. Now this one would be a good one to do as a leader in it. You work on all one size first, and then you work on the next rows, and then you work on, from so on and so on. And if you do a real scrappy one, let's just go there, right? Nice coverage. So now that one's a lot longer because I probably did some cutting mistake. Oh no. Well, we'll see if I've got too much coverage or if I've cut too much. I will correct it in the show notes for you. Okay, so yeah, that is too long. All right, and we'll shove this one under. Okay. Do I have good coverage? Yes, I do. Okay, so what's happened is I've gotten these pieces here are too long. They should all measure 10.5, and they don't. They should all measure 2.5 by 10.5. Let's see, put all this back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim them and measure it, and then make sure that it is corrected in the show notes. So I'm going to cut here. Okay, I'm so glad I found that cutting error, because I had actually cut these pieces an inch too big. So it is now correct in the cutting instructions. So my husband said that this doesn't look like it's going to fit. Yes, it will. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew these together. And now I'm just going to line these up. So line them up and sew. It'll be fine. It'll look great. Okay. Oh, I should get my 1/4 inch foot on. That's why. Yes, it's not one of our videos without having to change feet. It seems like every video you have to watch me change feet. And it's just like, eventually, maybe that's my trademark. I don't know. Okay, so we want to, there, get this all nice and flat. There we go. Make sure the underside is flat as well. There. Okay. There we go. And we're going to just do this one. Just like so. Okay. Get the plug in there. Okay. Now, just make sure that everything is good. And, oh look, I'm not sewing from the right side so I can see my point. Maybe I should do that. Well, it's a good thing I didn't miss any points, but here we go. So in order, so we shouldn't be just laying them over like this, because we can't see our point here. Right, so what we should be doing is laying it like this from the bottom and putting the point visible. So that's how we're going to sew the rest of them now. I got lucky because maybe it was because I had to admit I made a mistake, but that's okay. Everybody does this. Everybody. There we go. Now you just line that up with the bottom, the other side. There we go. Now, because you can see the point, you can now steer and make sure you get that perfect point. That's something else when you're doing flying geese you need to remember. Okay, so there, it goes like that. So I want to make this point, so I'm going to just roll it over just like so. Okay. There. There we go. Okay. Now I've made my perfect point. That's where I stop. And I want to make sure everything's being pushed the right way. Okay. Yay. All right. Oops. Okay. So now I'm going to add on the side pieces. So far, now this block right now, measures this piece in here. It measures 10.5 by 10.5. That's unfinished. But I want to make it a 12.5-inch block so I can have some fun with it. So I'm going to take this side piece and put it on the bottom. So now I have to decide which way I'm going to press this, right? So I probably should have done that a little bit sooner. Sooner than later, but it's okay. We'll do it now. I'm going to press up. Because pressing up will probably cause less distortion on the point than pressing down into the point. So that's my reasoning. Here. So now the other side gets, and I'm just going to finger press this out, just like so. Okay. And let me go back. I'm going to do this side, and now from this side, it's going to be put to, so that the seam here doesn't twist. It's going to be, I'm going to be sewing them with the seam up, going up, right? Because I don't want twisted seams in the back of my block. Because you hit them with, when you're doing free motion quilting, and you hit them with your needle, sometimes a twisted seam causes a lot of bulk suddenly, and you will have problems. It also causes some bulk, you know. There is some bulk. If you do end up with a twisted seam, though, you can just clip it, but don't clip through the stitches, and that will prevent any issues. Okay, now. Okay, we're now 12.5 across, 10 high, and this is where I'm going to add on this piece first. And you can see I poverty pieced this piece right here because I ran out. So I'm going to, instead of having that seam come right at where my apex of my wing or my goose point is, I'm just going to flip it to the other side. Just so that I don't have to worry about that bulk. Now I have pressed that open so it lies really flat, right? And yes, I ran out. I ran out of scrap. I can't believe it. This scrap is such a cool print, and I suddenly didn't have it long enough, and I was like, ah, just hate it when that happens, but it happens. It happens to all of us, and we have to know how to piece it. And in a scrap quilt, you can piece your stuff together without issue. Now, I want to make my point. I'm going to try and steer to get that point. Yes, I did. Beautiful. There, now. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to press that up and away. There we go. And now the bottom piece gets pressed. See, now it's all ripply and all this stuff. When I come to press it, it'll be just perfect. Now this poverty piece is going to hit in the middle of the black, which isn't going to cause any bulk, so I'm just going to leave it where it is. And I'm going to flip this over. And match up the bottom. Okay, I don't want my poverty piece to flip, so that goes into black. Nice. There we go. Okay, now let me get this off of here, and I'll show you how the back, how this is going to go. So I'm just going to quickly flip this out of the way. So you can't see, you can't even hardly tell it's poverty pieced because it's such a busy one. So now this is going to go up, right? I mean, all the seams are going to go up because it just provides less resistance. And I did have a little twist here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it just like that, about 1/8 of an inch away from the seam. And now all of a sudden it lies absolutely perfectly flat. Just what I needed. I need flat, nice seams, and we are good to go. So let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here's my version of Migrating Geese. It was a lot of fun to put this one together. Yes, the pattern, the cutting instructions in the description box will have the corrected sizes for these strips here. Um, I guess I wasn't doing math that day. I don't know when I wrote it all out. But this is a 12.5 inch block. Now you could play with the colors of the geese. You could also make a very unexpected background color, like, you know, do it all in blues or whatever. I decided to use this funky red and white print, and it was just going to look. I figured I can use black and white prints, and I can use funky red prints, and with low volume, it'll be fine. So, I do hope you give this one a try, and I'm so glad the viewer that asked me to do this. I'm so happy to do this for you. Anyways, you guys take care and have an absolutely awesome week ahead. Okay, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for watching our video and being so supportive of our channel. This has been just such an amazing journey we're on here on YouTube, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So our thanks, truly our thanks for you. If there's anything you need, don't be afraid to contact me either through the Facebook book or through email. I'm trying to do as many viewer request videos as possible, and if I don't do it, you need to remind me, okay? So that's not a problem. But yes, it's been just absolutely amazing. Make sure you tell your gills I speak for free. We have a Facebook group. We do Zoom dates, and we give out nothing but free patterns. So I hope that you have an absolutely joyful year ahead, and your sewing room, everything is going for you, and life is great. Okay, you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye.